Okay, let me tell you today that I really suggest everyone should stay away from Affirm and Klarna and Afterpay. I have so many payments coming out constantly that I'm just going to pay these off and shut it all down because it'll make you broke, okay? I owe a lot. It's ridiculous. I just take it away from me. So I'm going to tell you what I owe. So with Affirm, I actually owe $3,623.88. With Klarna, I owe $1,133.55. With Afterpay, I had to shut it down so I could make monthly payments, so I only owe $151. And with Capital One, I have a credit card, Capital One, I owe $314.56. I have a Barclay card. I owe $3,780.45. I have an American Express card. I owe $1,130.06. So that's a grand total of $10,133.50. So yeah, I owe a lot. So I'm going to stop. After I pay all this off, I'm not going to be charging anything. Okay? Just too much debt. Yeah, I've been a bad girl. Take the card away. So I suggest just stay away, especially from Affirm and Klarna and Afterpay. You'll be asking for payments constantly. Shoot, you might go into overdraft. So I would leave that alone.
Hey, no cap. Affirm, Klarna, Afterpay, they all taking over. It's kind of crazy, bro. It be crazy as hell because you can really buy anything in 4 different payments, bro. But my daughter's bought a goddamn Chipotle bowl on Klarna. He's paying $4 every 2 weeks. He gonna be done by New Year's. My dog went to the gas station, got a full tank. He's still paying it off. He filled his tank up 2 months ago. I just sent my boy $50 on Cash App. I'm paying $10 a month for the next 5 months. I just got my hair done too, bro. I'm paying my loctician $15 every 2 weeks for the next year. Hey, I'm trying to tell you, they taking over.
Buy now, pay later services are going to have y'all in so much trouble, you're not going to know how to get out. I'm for to sound like the old uncle right now, but I am very concerned about this generation and how they utilize these services. I'm going to go into detail about this topic in my newsletter, but it's so important to me to get this message out that I want to make a video about it right now. These kids are utilizing these services, which that's what they're here for, but you have to use them, responsibly. They're using these services to book so many outlandish flights and trips to places where, we can't even imagine to go, but they're booking these trips with these services and they're going on a trip without it even being paid for and dealing with the repercussions later. This is worse from when we were in high school and when you graduated, maybe in college, they started sending you out these credit cards and everything, and your parents was like, oh, don't do that. I feel like this is worse. I believe travel is for everyone. I've always had that message. I believe that everyone deserves to travel and experience life outside of their city. But like my mama used to tell me, you don't go nowhere if your bills ain't paid. We need to move from this mindset of thinking what we see on social media is better than the life that we live. Because 9 times out of 10, it ain't really what it's given. Young travel friends, listen, I don't know where your parents at. I don't know what's going on. But if nobody's going to tell you, listen here right now. Don't you try to keep up with the Joneses trying to fly out, get flued out, pretend like you get these people pretending they getting flued out. Just stop. Because you're going to find yourself in a place where you can't get out. And nobody wants to be 10 feet under that.
Wagwan Islanders family, welcome back to the channel. Of course, it's your favorite island girl, Jody here from the 876. And of course, guys, today we're doing like a deep dive into a trend that has been taking over this shopping world by storm. This whole buy now, pay later, or as some, want to call it the Bnpl trap. Guys, I know that we have all been there. You're scrolling through your favorite online store and then suddenly, bam, you're hit with a tempting buying option of buy now, pay later. That little offer that just seemed like a sweet deal, right? But slow it down for just a second and really think about it. How many of us are really reading the fine print and what's the real cost of putting off those payments?
Ever use apps like Affirm and Klarna? Well, I have. Welcome to my new series where I expose my poor financial decisions so that you can feel better about your finances. If you know, you know. For my regular followers, Affirm no! I know everybody would like me to go on Caleb Hammer's financial audit, but I don't need Caleb Hammer because I can go do my own financial audit, and I'm going to walk you through what I've spent on Affirm and Klarna since 2022. I am firmly convinced that if Caleb Hammer saw this, he would need blood pressure medicine. Let's start with Klarna. $9,185.06 is what I've spent on Klarna since 2022. For my Swifties, are you ready for it? Firm $23,011.57. Bringing that grand total to $32,196.63. I'm officially down to owing less than $3,000 on these suckers. And then Affirm is... If you don't laugh, you cry. So I choose to laugh. My payments were $1,250 a month. On Affirm and Klarna, that is. When I started this thing at the end of March. 50. So yes, it can get worse. I really want to warn people about the pitfalls of buy now, pay laters. If you can do it responsibly, I mean, that's on you. I clearly could not do it responsibly. And will you think in your head, oh, $50 here, $15 here, but it all adds up and it gets out of control. And literally, I went viral for having 44 loans. And before that, it was like closer to 50. And I have it down to a little over 20 now, I believe. But I'm about to pay 8 off. I think it's 20. See, it's so hard to keep up with. And I know that you want it now. And sometimes you have to. Like, I've done groceries. I've done all kinds of crap on Affirm and Klarna. But it adds up. And then you are in a chokehold. And in some ways, it is worse than having credit card payments. It's crazy. $1,250 a month is what I was paying on Affirm and Klarna when I started this journey. That's crazy.
Y'all see that video of that girl that said that she was banned from Quad Pay, Afterpay, Clonera, like all of that stuff? Can we just talk about it? Because, baby, when I was 18, 19 years old, I was collecting credit cards like I was Thanos, for real. I had a Chase card with a credit limit of $10,600. How? I don't know, but I had it at 19 years old. We was getting school refunds, we had high credit card limits, and we had buy now, pay later. I knew the concept of debt, but when you have it all there and available to you, that is a dark rabbit hole that I done went down. Now I'm sitting here at almost 27 years old paying for the mistakes that I made when I was 18 and 19 years old because I was just charges, Afterpay, paying for it, pay once a month. I was tearing it up, and now I'm paying for it. I wish I would have never got a credit card. I wish I could just restart because I literally touched so much money between grants with school, student loans, credit card debt, money from my job, money that was given to me, all of that stuff. And I still did buy now, pay later. And never will I ever do that again.
Listen, guys, I get it. I mean, who doesn't love the idea of getting something now and dealing with the money part later? Me? Yes, please. It's almost like a free shopping spree, right? Except the free part is not as free as it may seem. Some of us are really finding out the hard way that this whole buy now, pay later isn't exactly the savior that it's cracked up to be. In fact, Make we talk about it. It could literally be setting us up for some serious financial headaches down the road.
Listen, nothing is wrong with them as long as you use them responsibly, but the problem is a lot of people overindulge and are overly compulsive when it comes to using buy now, pay later apps. For example, you start with a firm and your first payments is $26.18, but then you keep buying and then you get another $26 on top of the first $26, and then you run it up to $100+ every 2 weeks or every month. And then you overspend on what I start with, a firm, and then you go over to Afterpay and you do the same thing. So you run it up, now you paying $100+ a month on that, and then you go to Klarna and you do the same thing. So now you got $200-300+ of additional expenses on top of everything that you was already paying, that you already didn't have enough money for, or was real tight living paycheck to paycheck. So now you just created an additional $300 worth of expenses, and it's all on stuff that you don't necessarily have to have. It's on stuff that you want, that you think that you're getting for a cheap price initially, but then you keep doing that and it keeps adding up, and that's where the problem becomes. And that's where it becomes a problem. That's what I meant to say.
Afterpay is getting out of hand. Once I pay off this little purchase, I am deleting the whole entire app. You can pay monthly now on anything that's over $400. And Expedia is on the list now. So you could do $1,000 vacation and pay for it $100 a month. And I think it doesn't have any interest. Yeah, it's no interest. You know how dangerous that is? I'm happy I'm not, the let's go travel at random type. But I know people who are. I know people who will book a flight for tomorrow today. And now they don't have to pay it all in one day. They can choose it for 12 months. I mean, I think this is going to be good if you're in a situation where you have to go see family. But you know how many people are going to abuse that? Y'all, don't get into any more debt than you need to. These debt collectors, they have no soul. And everything is higher than giraffe hoo-ha. I said this in another video and y'all were laughing at me. You about to be able to buy a house on Klarna. You about to be able to pay rent on Afterpay. I just feel it.
Now, let us briefly discuss why this whole buy now, pay later is such a huge deal, especially in 2025. Well, I've come to the realization that these services have been marketed like a dream come true, right? Who wouldn't want to get a new pair of sneakers, a cute little handbag, or just the latest iPhone without paying for it right away? You get to enjoy the product now, and you get to figure out the money part later. That's a little shopping hack, right? I kind of think so too. But of course, there is a catch. Most people don't realize how easily they can fall into a debt trap because of this whole buy now, pay later. It sounds harmless, but what happens when you start, stocking these buy now, pay later orders on top of each other? You might just start out, with one little purchase, and before you know it, you have multiple payments due all at once. And if you miss even one payment, then boom, here comes the late fees, the interest, and the dings to your credit score that could literally follow you for years.
Buy now, pay later apps are actually destroying your credit. As an ex-banker, let me tell you how. Whenever you submit for a buy now, pay later loan, your credit is being pulled every single time. Having too many hard inquiries on your credit in a short period of time not only decreases your credit score and racks up how many hard inquiries you have, it also, if you go to buy a car or a house or something you're actually needing, they're going to look at how many hard inquiries you have, and that shows the lender that you're a higher risk and they're less likely to lend you money. Hard inquiries stay on your credit report for 2 years. So every time that you're doing one of those Klarna, Sezzle, buy now, pay later, you're dinging your credit, and those will be on there for 2 years. Also leads me to say, if you can't afford it up front, you don't need it. Like that's a hard thing to, come to terms with, but I promise you it will change your life if you change your mind, your perspective.
Corey, how do you always look so bougie? How do you always look so nice when you're on a budget? Let me tell you my secret. Credit card debt, Afterpay, Klarna. Is it the most financially responsible? No, but that's okay because the debt will disappear someday. You can't convince me otherwise that credit card is not just like free cash. You're welcome.
No, I know what you may be thinking. You may be thinking, I can just pay it off later. But here's the thing, there are hidden fees. The money not free. Nobody not out to help you. And before you know it, you have paid more than you originally bargained for. And if you're to be real, guys, how many of us really keep up or track all of those payments while juggling real life work and just trying to be a grown-up, trying to survive in today's economy? The reality is this whole buy now pay later is almost like that little sneaky friend that you have, right? You and them out at the bar drinking, they offer you a drink but did not mention to tell you that it's actually on a tab. Next thing you know it, you're wondering where all your money went.
Listen, this is a one for anyone who has never done Klarna. Listen, if you've not done Klarna, stay the fuck out of it, because listen, when I tell you Klarna is not your best friend. It really is buy now and pay the consequences later. Trust me. Listen, Klarna is setting yourself up for failure in the future. It might be all good and dandy now, you're doing it, you get your little purchase, you get your new shoes and that tomorrow. But then when you've got to pay it next month and the next other couple months, you're just setting yourself up. For me, it all started this year, right? Last year in December, I wanted to get my mum Uggs, but I spent off the last of my Christmas money. So I said, all right, cool, let me Klarna it. So I Klarna my mum some Uggs. All right, cool, it was only like £70 a month, bash bosh. Then it went from Uggs to let me get a little pair of trainers myself. Let me get a little clothes for this one rave that I'm going to. Let me get this, let me get that. Before you know it, guys, I was Klarnaing my bed, yeah? My bed that cost me £1,200, me then Klarna it. So that's £400 a month. During this time, I was paying off my holiday, yeah, which I was like getting payments left, right, and centre because one of my friends cancelled on the holiday. I had to pay another extra £300. So there was money coming left, right, and from centre because I wanted to go pay for a bed that I did not even need. I mean, I'm so happy and grateful that I got my bed because I love my bed. My bed is like the comfiest bed in the world. But like, I was getting direct debits coming out this time. I'm like, blah. And then I didn't learn off my lesson then. Then I bought Creamfield tickets and I was literally paying that off, which was like £70 a month. I was then getting other festival tickets and then I went on another holiday and then I was paying off my next Klarna thing. And you know what really done it for me? It was literally the other month, I booked flight tickets, yeah, and I Klarna'd it. But I didn't realise that I Klarna'd it. In the moment when you're using Klarna, you're just like, oh, it seems like a good idea, yeah? I forgot all about this. So I've Klarna'd now flight tickets. I've come on Klarna just to see, that make sure I've cleared that. Maybe I've got like about £50 left. I come and I have £500 left. And I said, puss, Klarna. £500. I said, this must be bugging, so I must be using my Klarna. I come click on it and it's my flight tickets. I'm like, fuck. Who even Klarna's flight tickets? I'm like, shit. So I just paid that in full and I was like, this is the last time I am using Klarna, guys. This shit wraps you up. Next minute, you're owing thousands and thousands of pounds to Klarna and you don't even know it. It's such a good idea at first. And it's like, all right, cool, I don't have the money, but I'll have the money next month when I get paid. But then when you get paid next month, you've got some next bill. You've got this, you've got that. They're teeth. Yeah, it's teeth in, yeah? Guys, don't do it. Another thing, don't let anyone use your Klarna, yeah? Listen, I've had so many people, can I use your Klarna? My Klarna doesn't work. All that bullshit, yeah? I had someone who was close to me. I let them use my Klarna. Now, I come see on my Klarna thing, £600-700 they're Klarnaing. So I'm like, you got money to be spending that like a month, innit? Oh no, I'm just gonna refund it. I said, are you fucking stupid? So you got your Klarna account banned. You wanna refund your shit on my account? Are you dumb? Using my name. So I'm not even getting my Klarna, account banned for myself because I've been refunded. You're gonna do it. You're taking a piss. Take your shit off. You're not using my account, and I cancel the whole purchase. Yeah, because you're not fucking stupid. Don't let no one use your credit cards, your Klarna, none of that shit, because people will f it up. Another thing, yeah, if they're Klarnaing something for 3 months and you get into an argument with them, what's gonna happen now? They ain't gonna pay that shit. That's in your name now. And listen, guys, I've had multiple people ask me to use my Klarna. Multiple fucking people. And I'm not even friends with you like that for you to even be asking me about Klarna. Are you fucking stupid? Listen, don't ever let anyone use that shit, yeah? I've already learned before, I will never, put my name on a holiday and let people pay it off. None of that, because when you get into a mix-up with them and it all goes pear-shaped, it's in your name. Klarna. Don't ever ask me. Listen, I know there's people gonna be thinking, I asked him to use my Klarna, to use his Klarna and shit. I don't give a fuck. Don't ask no one to use their Klarna. That shit. Now I've got to go to work and pay off my Klarna debts.
Let me just say this, guys. On doing my research, it gets even a little bit more interesting. This whole buy now, pay later service, they don't just charge a late fee. They can actually report missed payments to the credit bureau, which means that your credit score can take a huge hit. One missed payment, and then suddenly you're paying for it in ways that goes beyond the price of those cute bags that you bought last season.
What's a scam that's become so normalized that we don't even realize it's a scam anymore?
I don't know if people are ready to hear this, but Afterpay. If you can't afford to buy it now, you can't afford it. It's predatory. You know, it's really enticing when you want a $100 clothing item and you can't afford $100 outright, but you can afford to pay, you know, however many payments of $10 or $20. And oh, suddenly you're like, well, you know, I can get another shirt that I do Afterpay and then pay $10 or $20 a month. And then you're just getting into debt. You're racking up all these little like purchases that are turning into thousands of dollars. It's predatory. Don't use Afterpay.
I know you lying. DoorDash and Klarna have signed a deal where customers can pay for their meals with interest-free installment plans or delayed payments on their payday. Bro, this is an attack, bro. Y'all know how I feel about Klarna. Y'all know how I feel about Afterpay, Affirm, Sizzle, all the buy now, pay later apps. Can y'all not see, bro? Like this is not to help you. Why are we on a payment plan for our food? And before y'all get in here saying anything, when I made that one video, I think it was like October, November last year, when I was telling y'all we was leaving all these buy now, pay later apps in 2024, y'all said that y'all was spending too much money on DoorDash. Now this is a way for y'all to spend more money on DoorDash because they're going to want you to order that $50 meal. It's going to cost you $68 to bring it to you. And then you're going to break that up, but then you're going to keep ordering it and your little bill going to keep increasing. And you're going to be spending away. Oh, man, I'm telling y'all this.
No, make we have a serious conversation, guys. And of course, you know, I want your opinions down in the comments. Why is it that we are so drawn to this whole buy now, pay later? And it's not just like a shopping experience, but I think that there is a psychology behind it. The buy now, pay later plays on your psyche, where it is called like delayed gratification, where we want something, we want it now, we get that now, but we don't go through the pain of paying for that immediately. It's almost like a little of a dopamine hit every time that you buy something, as a little shopaholic over here. But listen, we listen, but we don't judge. And when we get that delayed consequences, it almost feels like you're winning, but it gets a little tricky. Buy now, pay later isn't free. It's a financial tool that, if it's not used carefully, it can spiral into something worse. And you might not feel it right away, but as I said, guys, alluded to before, one mispayment, and that can literally snowball into mountains of debt. So think about it, Islanders. What happens when you're hit with 2, 3, or even 4 payments at once? You can literally feel like you're drowning into debt, and for what? A new pair of shoes, or maybe a gadget that is now in a corner somewhere collecting dust? Food for thought.
I've been critical on Twitter a lot about buy now, pay later companies like Klarna, like Afterpay. And now this new article from the San Francisco Gate has confirmed everything that I've been thinking and saying. I stopped using Klarna and Afterpay because these companies put you at a psychological disadvantage. The whole way they make money is that stores will pay Klarna and pay Afterpay a portion of whatever you bought at the store. Because the thinking is, and the data shows, you buy more than you otherwise would have if you check out via Klarna and check out via Afterpay, because it feels like you're not spending as much money as you are. For big purchases and for necessities, you cannot beat a 0% interest loan. You just can't. However, the way people get into trouble is that they are taking out this 0% interest loan for anything and everything under the sun. And when you do that, you run the risk of over-leveraging yourself and making it so that every month your payments become bigger and bigger and bigger. Your money comes in and it's already spent. And that leads me to the other way these companies make money. Late fees. 43% of Gen Z users have missed at least one payment. And of those consumers who used these buy now, pay later for something they needed, 30% have missed at least 2 payments. That's a horrible way to start out building your credit history, and these companies really set people up for failure. My advice is that unless you're buying a necessity or a really big ticket item, to just avoid these companies. Go old school, save the money for those 6 weeks instead of buying it right away and paying it over 6 weeks. That reduces your risk of missing a payment and having that missed payment potentially reported to the credit bureaus and ending up on your credit report. And it also gives you time to think about the purchase. Delayed gratification is really important when it comes to shopping. These companies might make it feel like a $100 purchase is really just a $25 purchase 4 times, but 25 times 4 is $100. At the end of the day, it's the same amount of money out of your pocket. So just consider avoiding these. Food for thought.
Let's talk about how easily we can all get caught up in this whole cycle. The companies are marketing this whole buy now, pay later like it's the answers to your prayers. You want it? Then here, you can have it. Don't worry about the payment, man. Just pay away later. You know, that sort of a thing. And before you know it, you become a repeat customer. But have you ever wondered who really benefits from this whole buy now, pay later? Me think about it and me wonder, and it's not us, it's not you, it's the companies who are making money off those delayed payments and those fees that eventually piles up. It's a system that is built to keep you spending while you even barely notice how much you're actually paying.
$70,000 worth of debt, but I can proudly say that I have never touched any sort of afterpay service. I am so proud of that. All of my debt is student loans, so I don't have a spending or like credit card debt issue problem, but I can proudly say I've never touched Klarna, Afterpay, Affirm, any of those things. I'm not saying it's an awful bad thing if you have, because I know sometimes there are emergencies and you cannot help it and you just like that's your only option, so I completely understand that. But I am just proud that I've made it this far without even considering using one of those. Granted, the times I have bought stuff that maybe I couldn't technically afford, I just put it on a credit card. So it's kind of the same thing, but I think the interest rates and things are not as predatory as any sort of afterpay service. I've seen so many horror stories of people who do that and then like they get caught up in the payments, they can't afford it some months, and like the interest rates on those are insane. It's even worse than a credit card, I'm pretty sure. So at that point, like you might as well just open up another credit card and buy stuff if you can't not buy stuff, you know what I mean? And live within your means, obviously live within your means, but if you need to spend money and cannot afford it, I feel like opening up a credit card is better than using any sort of afterpay service. I'm proud of myself. I am proud of myself, and I will never touch one of those.
Girl math is when you use Afterpay for literally everything. So when you buy a $100 pair of shoes and you only have to pay $25 that day, and then the pair of shoes show up at my apartment 3 days later, the shoes are $25. Why do I care if in 2 months I have to pay another $25? I don't know me 2 months from now. She can deal with that. I'm gonna buy a lot of things in 2 months that are more expensive than $25. Why do I care about a second payment? What if I find $1 million on the ground next week? Yeah, that's girl math. And it's scary that makes sense to me in my head.
Let me just say this, guys. I'm not saying that this whole buy now, pay later is all bad. There are definitely good ways to use it if you use it responsibly. Some people genuinely benefit from splitting payments into, more manageable chunks without racking up that credit card interest. But here's the thing. You have to have a discipline. You need to keep track of every payment, every due date, and make sure that you are not overspending. Know your limits and don't let the allure of easy shopping distract you from your financial goals.
I just saw a report that said 36% of Americans are in travel debt willingly. That literally makes me want to throw up. I talked about this before and y'all literally dragged me in the comments saying, well, we're going to get into debt anyway, so we might as well have fun while we're doing it, traveling. No matter how much you try to flip this narrative, I'll never get down with this. You should be striving not to be in debt with anything. I don't care what it is. Soon as I saw that trend of people using the buy now, pay later services to book travel, I knew it was a wrap. If you're going to use those services, at least pay off the last trip before you go on the next one. you're setting yourself up for failure. Those services are literally worse than when you remember when we graduated from high school and they were sending out all those credit cards for you to apply for. It was like you're gonna get approved easily. The buy now, pay later services are now that in the modern day. Listen, I love Gen Z. I love y'all thought process and everything, but this, y'all need to go talk to y'all mamas and daddies and get some freaking advice. Because you're going to be real mad when you get older and try to go get a loan for that $30,000 condo you're trying to pay because all the interest rates went all the way down to the ground and now people are getting all the property for zero on the dollar, but you can't get nothing because you went to Cancun. Went to Cancun and spent almost $20,000 on buy now, pay later credit. Where they do that at?
This is my afterpay and I'm going to do a haul of all the things I've been buying. It's actually from last month. It's actually down to 2,200 now, so I'm doing better. This top from H&M, I actually don't even know if they have afterpay, but I did buy this recently. I also got this absolutely gorgeous top from Showco. I'll put a picture of me wearing it because my tan is wet, so I don't want to dirty it, but it's so pretty. This might be my favorite thing that I purchased from Whitner. How cute are these? If these aren't Sophia Richie energy, I don't know what is. They actually had 2 heels for $150. The second pair haven't arrived, but these are the first pair. Now this is where you'll notice the sales really get me. Status Anxiety also had a sale, so I got this little handbag. It actually fits my shoulder really nice. I also got a pair of sunglasses. These are originally $120. I'll put on the screen how much I paid for them. I hope it wasn't that much. How cute are these? These are like really pretty. Finally trying Charlotte Tilbury. I got the Pillow Talk lipstick. I haven't even opened this yet, and I got this like a few weeks ago. I feel like it'll look similar to what I wear every day, which I usually buy from MAC, but I thought I'd try something different. Let me know if you prefer Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks or MAC, because I'm a MAC girl. I really don't want to try these on because my tan is wet and I'm going to dirty all of these, but I got this from the brand Primi because I think they said they're finally going to expand their sizing range, which I don't know if this was an expansion, but I got an XXL. It's really good for like the stretchy knitwear material or ribbed material, so hopefully it fits me. Hopefully they continue to put everything in their range in the XXL because then I could actually shop there more. This is a bit of a random purchase. These are actually from Dish. I've never shopped at Dish because obviously they don't have the best sizing range, but they do have a lot of knitwear, and I do see a lot of other plus size girls wear their stuff, which means their stuff is pretty stretchy, which as you can see, there's just a plain black strapless. Once again, they also had a crazy sale, which is why I also shopped there because they're quite pricey. Got 2 of these high neck tops, one in beige and this really pretty green. These are just in an XXL as well, which they will fit easily because they're stretchy. And I think the last item I have to show you are these Roland Vision sunglasses. How cool are they? I really love this detail. They also had a sale. As you know, and as you can see, I'm just always shopping the sales. I have a problem. If there's a sale, I will be shopping there. Yeah, how cool are these? They're like a small business. Fully recommend supporting. I think Aboriginal owned. How cool are they? Don't you worry, I am slowly stopping my shopping. My afterpay has gone down to 2,200 now, and it's just gonna keep going down because I am slowing down my shopping. But that was my haul.
I'm so glad that I am released from Afterpay as of tomorrow night when I get paid. I've been dealing with Afterpay for the longest now, and I just had a revelation last month. Yeah, that was last month when I made that video, and I seen that they had took $700 from me. Well, actually they didn't take it. I owed it, like others would say in this video. Didn't you borrow that money? Why you got a problem with paying it back? I don't have a problem paying it back. I was just shocked on how much I was adding to the cart. But I'm officially going to be free from them tomorrow after I pay this $340. Thank you, Jesus. If you're dealing with that, pay one off at a time. If you're dealing with Klarna, Afterpay, or Affirm, it could trap you. Do you know how much we can be doing with all this money? This is just taking everything. And I'm going to actually have $400 like every 2 weeks now since they're not taking my money. I'm so glad that I'm free. Thank y'all for watching, and this here is my guinea pig. He's 2 years old. His name is Snicks. He's shy. I'm gonna go put him back in his enclosure because he act like he don't like being out. Thank y'all for watching. Have a good day.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but stop the pay in fours. I promise you, if you just stop the pay in fours, you will be more intentional about your purchases. And I think it just, the pay in fours make it too easy to just buy anything. And now you made your purchase a bill. For what? And I was a huge proponent from paying for it. I mean, I was a stan. I have $3,000 limit on Afterpay. And then when I found out PayPal did pay in for, I was like, ooh, even better, because you can buy, I'm not even going to promote it. I'm not even going to tell you what you could buy. But when I stopped using Pay in 4, I just realized I didn't want to buy as much stuff. I don't know how to describe it. And listen, this is not a page that says don't spend your money. This is just a page that says don't use credit to purchase things. That's what this page is about. I promise you'd make, like,
Of course, Islanders, you know, I want to hear from you. How many of you have used this buy now, pay later? And what has your experience been like? Has it worked for you, or did you end up in a financial mess? Of course, drop your thoughts down in the comments below, because I know that we want to dissect this all together. And let's talk about the real cost of this whole buy now, pay later, and how to avoid, of course, falling into that debt trap. And if you have learned something new today, make sure to like and of course subscribe. Yes guys, this is where we're going to end today's discussion. Thank you so much for sticking with me until the end of another video. As I said guys, if you don't like it or subscribe, now it's time to go ahead and do so, and I'd love to have you join the Islanders family. So as per usual, when you finish, hit the subscribe button. We're going to tell you for just rock and come in. Now guys, if you want to continue to watch more relatable discussions like these, you can go ahead and click that up next video on your screen with a right here so, and enjoy the day away. As per usual guys, thank you again so much for watching. My name is Jody, and I aspire to inspire. Until next time guys, walk good.